Hey guys, just a bit of an update on the fluoride situation here in the UK, because if you're not aware already, the government is trying to roll out artificial fluoride in the UK. Now, currently only 10% of England have artificially fluoridated water. The rest of the UK doesn't, and we really want to keep it that way. If you're not already aware of the dangers of artificial fluoride, I will cover more about this in another video, or you can go to open1.uk, go to news and go to click the fluoride tag, and you can watch the interviews that I've already done with Joy Warren from the Fluoride Free Alliance, or you could go to her website, UK fffa.org.uk, and you can check out all of the material she's got there about fluoride and its dangers. But I will do a separate video specifically talking about this. But this is just an update video to show where we are at with the government's attempts to roll out fluoride in the UK, right? Because there's two specific clauses in the health and care bill that are 163 and 164, and we actually had an amendment put forward by Lord Mackintosh, and it looked kind of promising. It looked like it'd really slow them down and may even completely derail the entire rollout. But unfortunately, in the House of Lords, she was sort of debated down and was given reassurances and promises that, you know, there will be these impact assessments, and, you know, that will be that'll be enough to satisfy people that might be concerned about the dangers of artificial fluoride being added to our water supply. I'm quite impressed and disappointed at the same time that she actually believes the promises of politicians, and that, you know, this is going to be a transparent and, you know, honourable way that they go about this, and suddenly they're just going to stop the rollout, or it's going to change the rollout. There does seem to be a very strong push coming from multiple angles that multiple lords seem to be on board with for some reason. I don't know if there's money involved or something, or they're just not quite aware of how damaging this is going to be if they were to get away with it, not just for our own health, but for the environment, for the entire country, for the food that we grow. I mean, you can install an at-the-source filter if you own your own property, but then what are you going to do about if you go to a hotel, if you go to a swimming pool, if you buy food grown in this country that's used water that's been artificially fluoridated? It'll be unavoidable in most regards. And it's such a shame, because the UK actually has pretty good food quality standards, but this would certainly take it down. And we are currently one of the only Anglo nations that doesn't have artificial fluoride completely nationally. Ireland has it, New Zealand has it, Australia has it, United States have it, Canada has it. It's just the UK, this last bastion of unfluoridated water in the Anglo world. And like, it's only 10% of England right now, but we really, really don't want it in the rest of the UK. So these amendments, 163 and 164, the clauses 163 and 164 in the Health and Care Bill, they're the ones that essentially are going to give the government way more power to roll out artificial fluoridation on a national level, instead of having to go like by council, and, you know, having to have all these individual consultations. They're looking to just have one big consultation, similar to how they did with the Human Rights Act, and what they're trying to do with that. And big ups to everybody who got involved with that. I know a lot of people, you know, took part in having their say about why they don't think that the Health and Care Act, the Human Rights Act should actually be amended in the way they were suggesting, because they're trying to attack our human rights. Because I don't think you can actually get rid of them, but they could be attacked. And, you know, the legal law realm of this land is believed in by a lot of people. So if they can change some of that here, it would have implications in courtrooms and stuff like that. So that's really good that people took action with that. But again, we still do have to take action. If you are like me and you want to have artificial fluoride free water, then you definitely want to take action now and get people aware that this is a very bad thing to have. Now, if you are still getting your head around why fluoride is actually bad in our water, just be aware that there are different kinds of fluoride. You've got artificial fluoride and you've got natural fluoride. Natural fluoride isn't as bad. It's nowhere near as bad as what they're going to be trying to add to our water supplies, which is hexafluorosilicic acid. And it's quite a mouthful. It took me a while just to be able to say that word. But like I said, I'll do another video talking about why that is so toxic. But just know that it comes from the phosphate industry. And specifically, we get it from Israel. And it comes from a desert in Israel. I've got the Negev Desert, and it's Israel chemicals, and it's a byproduct, a hazardous byproduct of the phosphate fertiliser industry. Now, you have to consider why do we get this chemical from the other side of the world and bring it all the way here and put it in our water supplies? And it doesn't make a lot of sense when you logically think about it. It's like you drink this water and it goes into your entire body. It barely touches your teeth. You know, it's not like when you're brushing your teeth and different to that. And what about, they claim it's going to help the poor and impoverished people of this nation, but how many of them are actually drinking water on a daily basis? It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like mass medicating the entire country under the guise that it might help some people's tooth decay, regardless of the fact that it's being done, or they're trying to do it without our consent, really. They're not exactly like, hey guys, do you mind if we put artificial fluoride in the water? And there's been so many cases of the UK fighting back against this already. Now, I have another video that I interviewed Joy again from the Fluoride Free Alliance, where we spoke about all the victories we have had in this country about fighting back against fluoride. So the links will be all here, and you can check these out, because it's quite empowering to know that we have fought back and we've won before. But what they're trying to do in the health and care bill with these two clauses is make it a bit easier for them to win, essentially. So we can't let this happen. We got to be aware of this, and we got to raise the awareness now. We have to let everyone know, anyone in your reality who likes to drink water, let them know about the dangers of fluoride. Hexafluorosilicic acid is a hazardous byproduct from the phosphate fertiliser industry that's getting shipped over from Israel to be put into our water supplies, apparently for the good of the nation. So that's a brief overview of what's happening. So the bill is going through Parliament again. It'll be sent back to the Commons. The clauses of the amendment, like I said, was unfortunately withdrawn, and it's a terrible shame. However, there is going to be an impact assessment which gives us a bit of breathing room before a public consultation, but we really need to be raising the awareness right now, so everyone can do their part. If you're new to being an activist, there are many ways you can raise awareness in your community. One great way is local outreach, and you could just get leaflets. We have actually leaflets for the Fluoride Free Alliance available on the Open1 shop, and thankfully, well, in a way, I didn't actually move away, so I can still continue to sell these leaflets, because I nearly had a change of location, meaning I wouldn't have been able to do that. But they are still available on the Open1 website, and you can just buy them, hand them out in your local area. It's a very convenient, effective way to do local outreach. Now, another thing you can do is, this might become more critical as this battle of fluoride carries on into the future, is join your local fluoride free groups. Now, they are popping up. There's quite a few already, and the main benefit of joining a local group would be potentially to organise local lawsuits against water companies in your area, or to also network with others who are on the same page on this cause, because I imagine once enough of you know about the dangers of fluoride, you will be as passionate as I am to not have it in the water. It's really so negative. It has so many negative effects. So you can join your local groups on Telegram. If you haven't already, join the Fluoride Free Alliance on Telegram, and then you've got like the main chat, which Joy's right there, and she'll be there to answer any of your questions you have. She is literally the goddess of fighting against fluoride in the UK, right? She's got all the answers there. Any questions you might have, ask her. I am merely the front man for her wealth of information. I'm grateful to be able to spend much time on the phone to Joy, picking her brain, getting all of this complex chemistry and some of this stuff that's a little bit more harder to understand, and trying to break it all down and process it and get it as simply as possible so we can all understand it and what's going on here. So there are local Telegram groups, and if there isn't one already in your area, just get in touch and we can set one up. And that can be a way to meet people locally, to do local outreach, for example, and just to network and share, and just make sure you're not alone in wanting to have clean water in the UK, right? And it's not like tap water is perfect, but it doesn't mean it has to get worse. And yeah, that really don't want fluoride in our water. So what you can also do is another forms of local outreach is a survey, and I'm gonna have just a template, a very basic survey that you could take into your local town and just ask questions. It'll only be, at the moment, I think I'm just going to keep it to like maybe 3 questions. And from my experience of doing surveys, it can be a little bit of a challenge just to get people to take a little bit out of their time out of their day to actually take the time to answer some questions on a survey. But for those that do, you can actually quite positively impact somebody's mind if you just have their attention for 5 to 10 minutes. You know your facts and you know your mission and you know what you want to do, and that'll be available on the Open1 UK website. Hopefully I'll get it done in the next few days, and that'll be there for you guys, and you can download it yourself. I will be doing this survey as well in the coming weeks, just consistently. I did it before for vaccine passports. It was really interesting just to interact with the community in that kind of way. And another thing that can be done in local, I actually have a free ebook called The 5 Simple Steps to Activism, which is also available on the Open1.uk website, which has basic guidelines for activism and how you can go about it. So if you haven't already, you can download that for free and just read about that, and then you can apply those steps to fighting back against fluoride. And there's just a few other measures you can do. I mean, take even getting a nice banner printed and doing that over bridges on highways, motorways. That's another form of effective outreach, and it can be, if you have a few people locally in your area, it can be a great way to do that. It can be a great way to spend the day if you wanted to do something productive and help in this battle, right? Another thing is the yellow board sign scheme thing that really did take off quite well. That was a really effective way for people to do outreach, and specifically a lot of it was targeting the vaccines. Now the COVID agenda is sort of quieting down. There are still other things to focus on, and you could do the same thing. Maybe you could have blue boards because it's about water. Just have these boards with very clear facts about fluoride and why you don't want it in the water. And something makes them quite catchy to the eye, not too complex, not loads of writing, just really a few words. And people, they're called the rebels on roundabouts. So you could have the same thing. You do the same thing, but in relation to fighting back against fluoride. So these are just some ideas, and you can always get in touch with me personally if you go to if you email me at info@open1.uk, or go to Telegram at The Global Awakening, or just message me on Instagram at open1.uk. If you have any questions or any ideas or anything you'd like to contribute to fighting back against fluoride. And just whilst I'm on this video, the last thing I think I'll mention, we are still searching for a drummer. If you know an awake drummer near the London area, we can pay them to help us work on a track related to fighting back against fluoride. So we've got all of these different things we're doing to ensure that they do not succeed in rolling out fluoride to the UK water supplies. We don't need it. We don't want it. We do not consent to this mass poisoning, but you could call it a medicine, mass medication of the UK water supplies, but it's not really a medicine. It's actually a poison. It's actually a serious toxin. We don't consent to this. We don't want this. So join the Fluoride Free Alliance UK on Instagram and Telegram. Join these networks and do your part for your country in the fight against fluoride, and your children and everyone else will thank you for it.